Today, we're gonna start with a quick dragon quiz. Just 3 questions. Each time, I'll show you 2 dragons, dragon A and B. Your job is simple. Which one is the Japanese dragon? First question, look at A and B carefully. Just go with your gut. Which one is feel more Japanese? A or B? Got one in your head? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Trick question. Neither is Japanese. Both A and B are Chinese style dragons. Round 2, new A and B. Same question. Which one is the Japanese dragon? Don't overthink it. Just pick one. 3, 2, 1. Still 0 points. A is Chinese, B is Korean. Up to now, we actually haven't seen a Japanese dragon at all. Last round. This time, one more them. Really is Japanese, A or B. Look closely at the body line, the clothes, and the face. Which one feel more like a Japanese dragon now? A or B? Lock it in your head. 3, 2, 1. This time, B is the Japanese dragon. A is still Chinese style. If you got all 3 rounds right, you're a hardcore dragon nerd like me. But if you missed even one, this video is exactly made for you. Today, I want to show you where dragons started, how they changed as they moved through China, Korea, and Japan. When the modern Japanese dragon look for tattoos was really born, and why so many non-Japanese dragons are sold as Japanese in tattoo shops. Konnichiwa, Yoshi desu. Let's go all the way back. Dragons didn't start in Japan or Korea. The original dragon we think of today comes from ancient China. Not China, ancient China. It was a mix of many animals. Deer's horn, camel's head, snake body, fish's scales, eagle claws. At first, it was more like a nature spirit controlling storms and rivers. Over time, it became the symbol of heaven's will and the emperor himself. In China, the 5-clawed dragon pattern was reserved only for the emperor. So from the beginning, the Chinese dragon carried power, order, and cosmic balance. Dragons didn't travel alone. They moved together with the writing, religion, and royal culture. First, the Chinese dragon comes into Korea with early states and Buddhism. Korean for Yong. Korea takes that dragons and lean it toward rain, rivers, farming, and protecting the kingdom. Then through diplomacy and cultural exchange, the dragon crosses the sea into Japan. Here's the twist. Japan already had snake gods and river monsters in its native beliefs. Its name is Yamato no Orochi. You know Orochi from Naruto? Orochi means 8-headed huge dragon. So when the Chinese dragon arrived in Japan, it didn't say pure Chinese. It fused with Japanese snake spirits and river monster, changing its shape and vibe. The fusion is where the Japanese dragon is really born. In Japan's Asuka and Nara period, about 538 to 794, dragons look almost purely Chinese. The bodies are thick, the legs are strong, the horns are big. It only showed you the head, you'd probably say that's a Chinese dragon. Then comes the Heian period from 794 to 1185, and things start to change. The body gets longer and slimmer, almost like a giant snake. The legs shrink, the face narrows, and the whole silhouette look like water. This is where the Japanese dragon really splits away from the Chinese dragon. Next, we hit the Kamakura and Romaji period from about 1185 to 1573. Zen Buddhism spreads and ink painting becomes a big thing. Artists start drawing dragons with just black ink and a few broad brush strokes. The body is thin and stone-like. The face is fierce but very simple. These Zen ink dragons are basically the grandparents of modern Japanese tattoo dragons. Then it moved into the Edo period, early 1600s up to 1688. Ukiyo-e Prince and Irezumi pushed the dragon to its final form. The body is prolonged, like a huge snake wrapping around the whole body. The claws are small, usually 3. The face is narrow and fox-like, and the beard is less exaggerated than the Chinese dragon. Around it, you see waves, wind, clouds, and sometimes cherry blossoms or maple leaves. That's the Japanese dragon look most tattoo artists around the world think of today. Compared to China or Korean dragons, Japanese dragons in tattoo form are much more standardized. First, look at the face. The mane, beard, and eyebrow usually shoot outward like a hard spikes, not soft fur. And often on the forearm, you see fire wrapping around the arm. This is commonly drawn as part of the Irezumi background called gaku. On the back, along the spine, you will see hard spikes rather than fluffy fur. In modern Japanese dragon tattoos, this is almost always spikes. That doesn't mean if there's fur, it's not Japanese. There's a basic Irezumi framework, and artists sometimes add decoration on the top of that. Some artists experiment with the different looks, but most Japanese dragon tattoos still follow the basic template. Why? Because the previous generation of Irezumi artists already built strong, readable dragon design that works. So if Japanese dragon have such clear features, why does the internet call everything Japanese dragon first origin search engines? When you search Japanese dragon tattoo, you don't only get Japanese dragons, you see Chinese festivals dragon, Korean folk dragon, and all kind of hybrid mixing. The big reason is the people uploading them often are from East Asia, or even they don't really know the difference. And honestly, even among Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese, not even one can perfectly tell them apart. Second reason, thick bodies dragons are stronger at first glance. Big head, heavy body, tons of details. Modern Chinese dragons often look very powerful and expensive. So people grab that Chinese-style thick body at Japanese-style waves and then sell it as a Japanese dragon. Third reason, many Western fleshes are hybrid from the beginning. Chinese-style face, Korean-style back spikes, Japanese-style waves, all living in the one dragon. Is it wrong? Not really. If it looks good, it's still a good tattoo. But if you care about history and meaning, it helps to know what is truly Japanese and what is not. So let's make a simple checklist for a real Japanese dragon vibe. 1. The body shouldn't be thick and chubby. It should be long and slim, almost snake-like. 2. Usually 3 claws. 4 or 5 claws? That's no-no for a classic Japanese look. 3. The face is narrow and sharp with bony, spike-like sharps around the chin, eyebrows, and the philtrum instead of floppy hair. 4. In many designs, the dragon carries or wraps fire around its body. 5. Along the spine, the mane is more like a horn-shaped spike than soft fur. So the dragon on your arm might actually be Chinese, and the one on your back might be Korean. That's not a problem. A good tattoo is still a good tattoo. But if you thought it was Japanese, now at least you know the difference. Next time you want Japanese dragon tattoo, you can internationally choose between Chinese, Korean, and Japanese dragon, not by accident. If this video helped you even a little with your next tattoo decisions, like and subscribe. お疲れ様でした。